Predicting every NFL team's record, here we have the Lions. The Lions have one of the easiest schedules in all of football this year. We're starting off with a win versus the Saints. Then we go to the Buffalo Bills, first game in their stadium. I'll give the Bills this one. Even though I'm a Lions fan, I'm not biased here. Then they win versus the Jets because of course, then the Panthers because of course, then the Cardinals because of course. And this is where the schedule starts to pick up a little bit. But guess what? Back-to-back home games in division, they're winning both of them easily. Then they have the Dolphins. That's an easy win as well. And winning's contagious, so they beat the Patriots and the Buccaneers because they've owned the Buccaneers recently. And then you have the Bears at home. We're getting all the home division games out of the way. We're winning this one as well. Then we have the Falcons and the Titans. Those are two easy wins as well. I'll give the Minnesota Vikings the benefit of the doubt here at home. They're going to take this one. They'll split the division games with the Vikings. Then you have the Giants. The Giants are going to be fun. So you could drop this one maybe, but I still think the Lions are a way better team than them. And then we'll give the Bears the win at home. The Bears, they're probably going to be fighting for a playoff spot around this time, making sure they lock something up. But the Lions aren't losing to the Packers at home this year when they could be clinching the 1 seed 14-3. The Bears had one of the most impressive seasons last year. All the comebacks in the world. Can they replicate what they did and even get better? Well, I think they start off the year with an easy win versus the Panthers, but they have a tough one versus the Vikings. They're going to drop this one in Brian Flores' defense. Then they have the Eagles at home. I'm giving them the win here. Then you have the Jets. That's an easy win, of course. I'm going to give the Packers the advantage at home here. I think the Packers are nowhere close to the Bears, but the Packers, they always play each other hard. Then you have the Falcons. I think they easily win that game. And then you have the Patriots. I also think they easily win this game. I think the NFC is so much better than the AFC. Maybe not as much this year with, Patrick Mahomes coming back, but nonetheless. Then you have the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks beat the Bears. They're just a complete team and a juggernaut. Then the Bears win back-to-back versus the Bucks and the Saints, and then they run into the Lions. At home, Lions win this one. But the Bears get back on track with a great win versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then another great win versus the Miami Dolphins. Not that great. They're not going to be very good, but a good win at that. And then they face the Bills. This is going to be a tough one. I think they drop it. But guess what? The Bears win out. Finish their year 12-5. Winning out versus the Green Bay Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings. 3 tough in-division matchups. But that's what you got to do to make the playoffs out of the NFC North. The Packers are not as much improved as you would hope they would have been. Micah Parsons coming off the ACL. When's he going to play his first game? Not looking great for the Green Bay Packers, honestly. And you play in the NFC North. Let's get into it. Minnesota Vikings beat them week 1 easily. Then the Packers win versus the Falcons and the Jets in the reverse order. And they stay hot by winning versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But then they run into the Chicago Bears at home. Who's going to win this game in division? The Bears are better, but the Green Bay Packers are going to tough this one out. It's in division. Then we have a classic matchup. The Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. Always an incredible game. And the Green Bay Packers pull out in this one on top. Then they face the Lions. A really tough matchup for them. In Detroit, they're not picking up this game. Then they have the Panthers. They're winning this game. Then they're facing the New England Patriots. A really good team. 2 comparable teams, in my opinion. But I think the Patriots win this one at home. And the Green Bay Packers are getting swept by the Minnesota Vikings this year. I think the Vikings are going to be one of the best teams in all of football, honestly. And then it doesn't get any easier because then you go to LA and face the Rams and you lose to them as well. I think the Saints and the Packers are pretty evenly matched up this year, but the Packers are going to win this one. They're just more ready to win. Then you face the Bills. This schedule is not easy. You lose to the Bills. You have to. But then you beat the Dolphins. You lose to the Bears. And you're fighting for your playoff lives. So I think you can beat the Texans here. You might need it more than them. You're 9-7. Can you sneak in with this? Do you need to pick up this last game? And you don't pick it up, but you're 9-8. The Vikings are one of the most volatile teams in the league this year, in my opinion, because they picked up Kyler Murray to replace 9. And is it going to work out? Let's find out. In week 1, they pick up a really good win versus the Green Bay Packers. I think the Minnesota Vikings defense will carry them early on. Then they pick up the Bears because this defense is going to be swarming. And if Kevin O'Connell wants Kyler Murray, he wants him for a reason. So I think this pairing is going to work. Then they lose to the Buccaneers because they got to drop something, The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to show up at home. Then they beat the Dolphins because the Dolphins are terrible. Then they beat the Saints. The Saints aren't ready yet. Then they beat the Colts because, of course, the Colts aren't going to be the same as last year. They lose to the Lions at home because the Lions are one of the best teams in football and they are going to have the easiest schedule, so they're going to be used to winning and they're not going to drop a ton of games. The Buffalo Bills go to the Vikings and the Vikings make a statement and bounce back and beat the Bills. Then they beat the Green Bay Packers on the road to show that they're not playing any games this year. They're serious and they're to be taken serious. Then they lose to the San Francisco 49ers, going to the West Coast, a lot of traveling. You got to drop one after 2 big games, Then they beat the Falcons and the Panthers, and of course they do. Those are 2 mid-teams at best. And then they lose a 3rd one in the road to the Patriots. The Patriots have to make a statement win somewhere. They have to prove that they're here to play as well. Then they get the Lions at home. They pick up this They pick up a home win versus the Lions in division. Of course, like, this team is not easy to beat. Brian Flores has done his work versus Jared Goff in this Lions offense before. He continues to do it. And then at 10-4, you're in a great spot to make the playoffs. You beat the Commanders. The Commanders aren't going to be great this year. You beat the Jets, and you lose to the Bears, finishing off at 12-5. That's a pretty good record and a pretty good year. Follow for who's next.